ADA live fire, July 1983 in Korea. At the time, I was in the Army, stationed with the 2nd Infantry Division, and I was at a little camp up on the DMZ called Camp Pelham with the 2nd Engineers, and we were a combat bridge company. And in the town of Seonri, where Camp Pelham was, we were on one side, and on the opposite side of the town was another camp called RC4, and that's where 2nd Battalion, 61st ADA was located. And they were getting ready to go down to Chulmae Range near Daecheon Beach, which overlooked the Yellow Sea, and they're going to do a live fire exercise. And they asked us if we would come support them. So the platoon I was in was detailed to go assist them, since we had a pontoon boat. So we loaded up our deuce and a half, and the ADA guys were getting all their equipment down there via train. So we drove over to the nearby town of Moonson and loaded up our deuce and a half along with the ADA equipment. And I'll put a picture in right now of us loading up our deuce and a half in Moonson. And then we boarded the train and headed on down. And I'll post a couple pictures here of the train and us basically sleeping the whole way down to to Daecheon Beach. And once we got there, there was another camp, and we were housed in a GP medium tent, and which had cots in it, and it was really nice. It was July. We were right on the beach. Daecheon Beach was even back in the 80s was a popular beach, and the live fire was right on the facility was right on the beach, and the ADA guys were shooting chaparral missiles, which were mounted on an APC, and I'll post a picture of one of those right now. And they were shooting the 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon, which was also mounted on an APC, and I'll put a picture of that in right now. And then they were also firing the red-eye missile, which was shoulder-fired system, and it was they actually did the first night firing of that red-eye missile during this live fire exercise, first live fire in Korea, and I'll post a newspaper article of that right now. So that was really interesting, and that red eye went for 25,000 a pop, and the chaparral missiles were 70,000, a pop. That's just my dog getting getting comfortable. I guess he's starting to like the story too. So they wanted to get the biggest bang for their buck on this live fire training, and we were there in support of basically picking anything up that got shot down over the water, because we had our pontoon boat, and the chaparrals shot at this big orange missile, and I'll post a couple pictures right now of us going to get this missile that I'm not sure if it got hit, if they actually hit it, because or if they missed it and it just hit the water, or what, but the thing was crumpled up, and this was us bringing it back. And the Vulcan cannons, they actually shot at a trailing target behind an unmanned plane, and this plane was pretty neat. It had a gas engine on it, and they actually shot it off this little catapult mechanism, and it towed a target. And whenever that plane came back, it basically had a parachute that would let it kind of float back to the ground, and we'd go pick that up. And I'll post a picture of the plane system, and then us going in and retrieving one of those. And yeah, it was just a an interesting and relaxing kind of detail. And we just sat on the beach and waited for them to basically shoot something down, or have something for us to go get. And I'll post a couple pictures of us sitting on the beach with our boat waiting to go fetch something. And once they were finished, we loaded back up and took the train back to Moonson, and continued our regular job up at Camp Pelham, which was putting in a pontoon bridge across the Imjim River, and evacuating anybody that was on the northern side there, if, in case of invasion from North Korea. And but that story, this story about the air defense, I talk about in my book Around the World, and it's my memoirs, and it details my 3 years in the Army and 22 years in the Coast Guard. And I just go, assignment by assignment, and just talk about stories like this one going with the air defense guys down to Chulmae Range. And so if you need if you'd like to read it, it's you can get it through my webpage, www.edsemler.com. We'll link you to Amazon, where you can get it as an ebook or a paperback.